Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Christy. Welcome to Art After Dark. In this episode, we're talking about how to make art when life is full, when you've got a day job, a to-do list, and only tiny pockets of time to create. We're sharing our own 20-minute art challenge, what worked, what didn't, and how to build a creative practice that actually fits into your life. So if you've ever felt guilty for not making art every day, this one's for you.
What are you reading right now?
Oh, oh, you're challenging me. Okay, so I always have probably 5 books on my nightstand. Right now, I have The Hare with Amber Eyes on my
Mhm.
nightstand, which I have not. I'm very early. I'm like only maybe 50 pages in. And what is his name? What's the author's name? Do you remember?
Something DeWall.
Yeah,
He's
Edwin?
an artist.
Edward?
Yes, I
Yeah,
think it's Edward.
yeah. And so I'm reading it's a book that I've had on my bookshelf for years. I don't know why I bought it. It must have been really popular or something, and I picked up a copy, and then it's just been like on the for later list for a long time.
TBR.
Yes. But where I work, he is going to do a show. And so I was like, oh, I should probably read that book. Um, so I'm reading that.
Have you seen his work?
No. Have you? It sounds like you have.
Yeah, I saw a show of his at Gagosian in LA, probably the same time that book was popular. So it's been a while.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I too was like, I'm getting that book. It's really moving. The work is really moving. So I think you'll enjoy
Okay.
it.
I'm looking forward to it as also, this is like selfish, but his medium is not paper based, which means I won't have to do a lot of work on the project. I just get to go. So I'm quite
Yes.
excited about that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So it should be
Good.
good. Yeah. I'd say that's one of the books anyway. What are you reading?
I can't remember the exact title, but it was something like The Perfectionist Guide to Losing Control.
That's on my list.
Yeah. At
Good.
first, I was very put off because it felt very directed towards women. And I don't know why that put me off,
Mhm.
but I was like, everyone struggles with this. It's not just like women. But then I was like, I felt so seen. Like, I'm okay.
You're like, I can't be
Um,
mad.
there's nowhere to hide. Check, 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 checking all of the boxes. So it's been interesting. So I read that like in the morning, and then at night I read fiction, and I could not even tell you the title of the book I'm reading. It's by Sarah Moss, who writes all those spicy novels, but it's not the popular spicy novels. It's something that she wrote earlier. So I don't know. We're not
Okay.
spicy yet, but I think there's potential for spice.
Okay.
Hey, Coco.
Yeah. The other books in my pile are also fiction, but like you, I cannot remember the titles.
No,
So
I mean, these are not intended to be kept in my brain. It's just like one and done. Just
yeah.
read it and move on.
Yes.
So today we're talking, speaking of reading books in our spare time, we're talking about creating art with limited time.
Yes.
Because if you've been here for a minute, you know that we have day jobs and we try to make a creative business out of the time that we have when we're not at our day jobs. And part of that is obviously you can't really have a creative business if you're not creating. So part of that is like how to create work with limited time. So we did an experiment and I'm dying to hear how yours went. We decided that for the next last 7 days, we were going to spend 20 minutes making art and see how it went. So I'm curious, how did it go for you? Do you have your sketchbook with you? Do you want to
I
share
don't.
anything? That's fine.
I didn't even use my sketchbook to be honest. I
Mm.
used my iPad.
Oh, smart.
Um, yeah, and that was mostly because trying to limit the options, there's a card collection that I'm trying to make. And I thought, oh, I can use this, double duty it, and try to move forward with that. So I will be perfectly honest and tell you I made it 3 days out of 7.
Mhm.
and then
No more. Yeah.
but I think maybe if I counted, I don't think this counts, but like research. So like inspiration gathering, that might get me to 4 days. And then the other days, it was literally like between 10, maybe 15 minutes during my lunch hour, like sketching out my card ideas for I want to do 4 cards.
Yeah.
So I did one or two every day.
I
So I
totally
have,
think that counts.
okay. So I have
Yeah.
a plan. I have a sketched out plan for moving forward with the project, which is good.
So
Didn't
that
feel
seems like
like
that helped
enough.
you. Like it helped you in
Yeah.
terms of moving forward.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. When I think about it, harder. It mostly felt, oh, all I had to do was 15 minutes and I couldn't do it. Like, geez.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think part of it is mental because well, I don't want to say you, I feel like I've got to make something great, but you can't, it's really hard to do that in 15 minutes.
yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like at this point, I don't feel compelled to make art every single day. And I mean art in any capacity, whether that's like a sketch or a thumbnail or like a full on, this is a finished work of art. I think for me, like the first day, I was like, oh, yeah, it's the first day. This is great. 20 minutes,
Yeah.
check it off my list, which of course, everything when you start is like, yeah, I'm into this. And
Mm-hmm.
then the second day, I forgot until I was like on the couch watching The Housewives. So I was like, ugh. I got up, I grabbed my sketchbook and like a little bit of supplies, and then like sketched for 20 minutes while I was watching The Housewives, which is fine. Day three was like getting it in the last minute, and only because we were trying to do this challenge, not because I wanted to. And then the next day, I was like, I had time, but I felt really nervous for some reason. Like I felt pressure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think I was pressuring myself to make something good. Day five, didn't want to do it. Totally resisted. I did it, but I didn't want to do it.
Mm.
Yesterday, I forgot, but I did paint. I had more time to paint. So I was painting for an hour. So I was like, that counts.
Yeah.
I didn't do like just a 20-minute timer and then off. And then same thing happened today. I just was like, I forgot about the 20 minutes and I just jumped into painting something else and I figure that counts. But I find it very unsatisfying to work in those small increments personally because I want to make something finished. It's very
Yeah.
unsatisfying.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, though, if I know I have more time and I want to keep going, then it's nice to have started something and then I can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of resistance around it, around like forcing it. And I tried to think about, people who have more responsibilities, who have kids and jobs, partners, pets, all the things. Like, what is the advice for trying to squeeze art in these kind of 15, 20-minute segments as you're maybe moving from one thing to another thing? Like, what do you think? Do you have any like tips or things
Any
that worked?
tips? I think for me, it was really good to have a specific project in mind. And I don't know if that's helpful for everyone, but for me in this time period, it was just like I needed this sketch time to be focused. And then even in the past, when I've done other sketch challenges, a lot of them will provide like a list of prompts. And I have kept some of those and just keep them in the back of my physical sketchbook.
Mhm.
And when I don't know what to draw, I'll just look at the list and whatever jumps out is something I'm excited about, I draw that.
Yep.
I think those would be I think definitely for me, having something, an end goal in mind is really helpful, which I know that kind of isn't what sketching is about. Like sketching, I think in my mind is more about exploration of like methods and mediums and, all those things. But I tend to not just sketch for fun very often.
Yeah. More for a purpose.
It's more purpose driven. And maybe I should try sketching just for fun because the only other big sketchbook project that I've done, 75 art, that was literally just draw something every day in a sketchbook. And I don't think I've done anything with any of that work though. I haven't gone back to those sketchbooks or those pages and developed that further,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. You don't have to develop everything further, but I don't know. I feel like for me, I need more focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think setting a timer is really interesting because on the one hand, it's low pressure because you're like, I only have 20 minutes. So I'm just going to when the timer goes off, I'm done. I got to move on and fold the laundry or do whatever. So you don't waste a lot of time. You kind of just get right in.
Mhm.
I also found like using limited materials. So I have one of these Sendak rolls, and I keep like my favorite supplies in it. So I've got like pencils, and then I've got the art toolkit, painting palette. And this is something that was like really easy to just unroll and roll back up or take it to the
Yeah.
sofa or do whatever. So I think keeping a limited, this isn't exactly limited. It's limited for me.
Limited for you.
Limited for you may look different than limited for me. So that was like just super handy because I could unroll it, do my thing, put everything away, roll it back up and put it away. And then I also used like a smaller sketchbook, which this
Mm,
is kind of a really weird size. This is a moleskin. And then I found it's 4.5 by 7 inches, which is like a really sweet size. I didn't really know. I've been having trouble actually until this challenge figuring out how to use these pages. But then once I
mm.
did the challenge and I knew I only had 20 minutes, I was like, oh, this is actually a really good size because I can't do too much. I can just do enough. So keeping a smaller like surface to work on so that you don't feel like you have to fill all that space. And then keeping it nearby so that I don't have to dig it out every single day. It's like a kit that I can just work from.
Yeah.
Also, like reminding myself that it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Like, and it probably won't be in such a short amount of time for someone who works really slow. So that was something I had to keep telling myself. It was like, just have fun and it doesn't have to turn into something. And also, you don't have to share it on Instagram. It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
something I share. So just trying to make it as easy as possible. And then also, I did put calendar reminders,
Oh, see, I should have done that.
like just as like this is an appointment, like I would have like with my boss or whatever, 20 minutes drawing. And I would set an alert for 30 minutes before that so I could kind of mentally get ready. There are a few days I just blew right by that. And I was like, we'll just down to 9 p.m. or we'll just,
Yeah.
thanks for the reminder. I'll just do that when I feel like it or don't remember. So those are the things that I felt helped me in the 20-minute challenge. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. I think so too. I think I really would love to be the kind of artist who creates every day. Like, I love the idea of that, like the dream of being that kind of artist. I think what I've learned over time is that I am not that person and I probably never will be. And I have to like come to terms with that that's not how I work. That's not what works for me. Even though, like, as a concept, it's very appealing.
Yeah.
But in practice, for me, I like either I feel too exhausted to do any sketchbook work, or
Mhm.
I'm not inspired, or I
Yeah.
just forget. And so I think what I've learned definitely in the last year, I've just figured out, you know, that's not for me. I know a lot of people really stand by that idea and like that practice, and it doesn't work like that for me. But that's okay,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah. I think also the last year you've been working a lot more on focusing on making art. So you've really to figure out like what flow works for you. And if trying to do something meaningful in 20 minutes at a time isn't working. But if you're able to devote an hour 1 day a week, like a chunk of time, that might
Yeah.
feel more effective for you. I think I love to just kind of dedicate time on Sundays for painting. That's just worked out with my schedule. And also because I have such a small space, which I know you do as well, it's really hard for me to make the art I want to make for my business in 20 minutes when I have
Mm.
everything up and put it away, bring it back out again. Like it's gouache, it's water, it's towels, it's like a lot, even though gouache is like the easiest thing in the world. So having that dedicated time works a lot better for me. And I think part of that is once you figure that out, it's actually so free in a way.
Yeah.
Once you figure out what works for you, like you do feel like there's this myth of, oh, I should be creating like every day. If I were a good artist, I would be making work every day. Well, you know what? That doesn't work for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with you need to do what works for you and trying to fit into somebody else's idea of what an artist is or should do,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think is like a big deal.
Yeah. And the idea of, there's a lot of people who teach to do this work in the margins of your life. And I think there's a place for that. But I think also, if that doesn't work for you, like you don't have to believe it. It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't, you don't have to think it just won't work for you or that you can't do it. I think try it. And if it works for you, then great. But if it doesn't, then, take Stacey's approach and do the 1 hour of like really dedicated time on whatever day you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I also learned that, this idea of trying to run this creative business in your after hours, challenging also because my brain works differently in the morning than it does in the afternoon. And so this morning I was like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this painting challenge for 20 minutes. I don't really enjoy painting in the morning.
Mm.
Is much better at doing like admin tasks or writing or things like that in the morning. And in the afternoon, where my energy is a little bit lower, that's when I like to paint because I'm like more calm. And then I love to paint at night. I don't know why. The lighting is terrible, but maybe that's because that's how I started, because that was the only time I could do it was at night. So now I feel like it's a habit where it'll be like 8 o'clock and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let's like bring some stuff out and paint. So it's finding within the margins what your energy is and what works for you and what you can accomplish. And then just don't beat yourself up. Like
Yeah.
we're all doing our best. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that the 20-minute blocks for me would be better suited to doing things I dislike. So I hate,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to say hate. That's a strong word. We know I haven't sent an email in a year. I don't like doing that task. Maybe I can gamify it and be like, I'm going to use this 20-minute block to create this newsletter. It's still something creative. It's not necessarily art, but it is helping me in my business. So, how can I gamify and see how far I can get in 20 minutes? And inevitably, once you get going, you just want to keep going until you finish,
Yeah.
is what I found.
Yeah. I think definitely for me, I think the same. Like I actually find if I'm not focused in my like admin tasks, I can just like slosh around in like all the things I should be doing. And at the end of an hour, I'm just like, what happened? Nothing. But if I applied that 20 minutes to if I was said, I am going to spend 20 minutes scheduling Pinterest pins,
Yes, exactly.
I
Content
would get like
creation or
several weeks out. Yeah.
that works better for me. It's just another idea. Like if you only have the 20 minutes to make art, we wear all the hats in this business
Yeah.
when we're running it on our own. And you can define what art is. Like it doesn't have to necessarily be like pen to paper. Makings can be these other creative aspects of our business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I would also like to just suggest that if you are going to be making art in 20 minutes, try to have fun. Like,
Yeah.
take the pressure off. Remember, this is art and
Mhm.
it's fun, and enjoy the time that you're spending doing it, and try not to be a perfectionist, which is easier said than done in some cases. And I feel like that really goes along with being there, showing up more for the process of it than the result. Unless you're unless 20 minutes is your jam and you can knock something out on Procreate or you can make a painting or whatever, God bless you. Good for you. I can't do that. So I would prefer to show up and enjoy it. And this is something I paid attention to over the last week because there were days that I wasn't enjoying it. And I was like, this quote should be fun.
Mm.
I was a reminder to like, how lucky are we that we get to do
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. All right. So if you are creating art in limited time and have ideas on how to do that, or if you hate it and want to tell us about that,
And
drop
yeah,
them in
we
the
like those stories
comments.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. All comments are welcome. But yeah, tell us how it's going. Tell us your tips for making art in limited time. And yeah, we'd love to get some community around the topic and just help each other out.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are things that you all are doing or have tried that could help someone else. So definitely leave that in the comments, and we can all learn from it.
All right.
Okay.
See you next time.
See you next.
Thanks so much for listening to Art After Dark. If you connected with today's episode, we'd love for you to subscribe and share it with a friend who's on their own creative quest. And if you want to follow along with our work, you'll find all the links in the show notes. Until next time, keep creating, and we'll see you after dark.